So I'm assuming that you do a bridge page to try to help with conversions on the sales page. So the next question is, how do you, any tips to help us increase conversions on that bridge page? Like, what do you actually do on your bridge page to help increase conversions on the sales page? And then I want to get into how you actually pick your particular products, because just from being on your list and seeing you on YouTube, it just seems like every product you promote, every opportunity you jump into, it just seems like you just always make a lot of money. So we're trying to figure out, how do you pick those particular products and opportunities? So yeah, bridge page first.
Okay, yeah. So to explain the bridge page, I guess people need to understand that there are three different types of affiliates: amateurs, intermediates, professionals. Mm-hmm. An amateur affiliate will do a YouTube video, or they'll pay for a solo ad or whatever, they'll link back to their capture page in some way. In fact, an amateur affiliate won't even use a capture page. Yeah. What a lot of amateur affiliates will do is they'll just put a link in their YouTube description box that goes straight to the sales page, because all they're thinking is in their brain, I gotta make money. And what they don't realize is, if a person goes to the sales page, most people are not going to buy the first time they hit the sales page. It's not going. You're sending your traffic directly to an offer. You're basically wasting your time and money. Now, this is especially true if you're doing paid traffic. If you're paying for traffic and you're not collecting emails, then you may as well set fire to your money. It takes the average person 7 to 15 times of seeing an offer before they make a decision on whether they want to buy it or whether they don't want that offer. Right. So amateurs, they just send people straight to the sales page. Now, intermediate affiliates are a little bit, I don't want to use the word smarter, because it's not really a case of smarts. It's a case of, you don't know what you don't know until you know it, if that makes sense. Right. So an intermediate affiliate has figured out, hang on a minute, I need to build an email list, so I'm not going to send people straight to the sales page. I'm going to send them to a capture page so that I can follow up with them via email, and then from the capture page, I'm going to redirect them to the sales page. So, which is a little bit better, because now you're building an asset, which is an email list. But it's still not great, and here's why. John, I don't know how long you've been doing this, right? I have no idea, but if you've been doing it any length of time, I'm sure you've promoted products or business opportunities that were here one day and suddenly were gone the next day. The business crashed or the product was taken down, right? Yeah. If you are basically sending traffic to a capture page and then straight to the business opportunity or the JVZoo Warrior and Warrior sales page or whatever, all you're doing is you're establishing a relationship between your email lead and that company or that product creator, but you're not establishing any relationship with yourself. So therefore, if the product is removed or the company crashes, people don't really know much about you. They have no bond with you. Now, the best thing you can do, and this is what all super affiliates basically do this, is you send traffic to a capture page, and then you send them to a bridge page. And a bridge page basically bridges the gap between a person entering their email on your capture page and the offer, and you show your face. Now, you can either show your face in an image with some written text and then link to the sales page, or what I like to do is I like to jump on a video, and I like to just let people hear my voice, see my face, and in a lot of my videos, I show people around my house, and this is it's not to brag. Right. It's just to show people, I am a real person. This is where I live. I've been fortunate enough to be able to live here because I've had success with affiliate marketing. And, you know, I've started to say to people as well, you know, I kind of show them the car, which, you know, in case anybody's wondering, I don't drive around in a Ferrari. I'm really not interested in cars at all, to be honest. But I'll make a point of saying to people in my videos, you know, this isn't a Ferrari, but this is a car that I did buy for 30 grand in cash. You know, I was able to walk into a garage and buy this for 30 grand cash. Right. And, you know, I'm not saying this to brag. I just want people to know that if you follow me and you do the right things, then these are some of the rewards. So basically, just create a video where people get to see a little bit about you and who you are and, you know, why you can help them. Now, I know some people watching this are probably going to say, well, what if I can't afford to, like, live in a nice house or buy a car and I don't have results?
Right.
And then what you do in that case is you lean more towards leveraging the results of a mentor or leveraging the results of the person behind the business opportunity. So rather than showing your own results, you say, listen, you know, John here, great to meet you, yada, yada, yada. On the next page, I'm going to introduce you to XYZ person who's been able to, like, build a affiliate marketing business that makes XYZ. And if you watch that video, you're going to learn how you can do that and follow along with me as I start to do that too.
Okay.
So
good advice.
You have a bridge page where people see you or at least can read your story, and you link back to that offer. You're building the know, like, and trust factor. You're going to increase your conversions on the next page because they now understand the person behind whose list they joined. And worst case scenario, if the company or product you promote disappears, people still feel like they know you and they're more likely to follow you into another business or buy a further product from you.
Yeah. That's great information, man. So in terms of, like, the products or opportunities that you tend to jump into, tell us a little bit about, like, how you go about choosing those.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start off by saying I've been in a lot of businesses and companies that crashed. So now that's good news for people watching because, you know, sometimes you have to fail many times to, like, learn, right? And through failures, I got good at identifying companies that tend to last a long time. You know, one of the companies, I'm not going to mention any company names on this, but one of the companies myself and my wife are in, she was in it before we were married. They've been sending a check out to us for over 9 years every single month. Now, that's pretty much unheard of on the internet. That doesn't happen too often in our space. Yeah. You know, so, and I'm not talking a small check. The check ranges from $1,000 to over $4,000. So in terms of identity, for 9 years, 9 years, and you'll definitely know of the company, John. I'm not sure if you use them, but we can talk about that later. Because you know, I know, like, I don't really want to get into naming company names and all that kind of stuff, but you guys, if anybody is interested, you can just get back to John or me, you know, and we can message you off camera or whatever. Yeah. But how I normally do it, John, is I separate this into two areas. If it's a business opportunity or whether it's a Warrior or JVZoo product, it differs slightly. So with a business opportunity, typically, I'm not overly enthusiastic about promoting stuff that's really brand new and in the first few days, because although there's a lot of excitement, a lot of those companies crash.
Right.
Where I make the exception to the rule on that, though, is if I know the person behind the company, or somebody who I respect is involved with the company and they talk to me about it, I will take a look. You know, I got involved with a company last year that was only like 9 months old, but I knew the owner. I liked what she was doing, You know, I made a lot of money with that company in a short space of time. But the BizOps space, I'm not super interested in overly brand new stuff. I like to take a look for a few months at least to see, do I like the direction of where this company is going? Is there actually any substance in terms of real training and real products? Because in the BizOps space, there is a lot of, you just pay me money to pay money so somebody else can pay money to join to pay. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's not really any good products, or the training they provide is like something from like 1922. It's outdated stuff.
Right.
So with the BizOps space, that's kind of what I look out for. My sweet spot with BizOps is if a company is like 2 to 3 years old, the owner has a good track record and the training is good, that's going to, get my interest. But again, I want to say, just in case anybody ever comes to my channel and says, you're promoting something new. I'm not saying I never promote anything new. I'm just saying I am more careful when it comes to new stuff, because I've been in companies before that were new and failed. I was in a company one time where I went from 0 to 25 grand a month in less than 3 months. But within 9 months, the company folded and they took away $25,000 a month in earnings. And I'd already moved to the Caribbean based on earning that money.
Right.
So, I'm kind of choosy. Now, when it comes to JVZoo and Warrior products, again, I'm interested in what's the track record of the product creator.
Yeah.
Are they releasing like BS? Am I hearing a lot of customer complaints about this person? But also, when I go to the sales page for those products, if I read the sales page and it doesn't really interest me, and it's not something I feel I could use in my own business, I'm not saying I would, because you can't always try every method and every software.
Yeah. But
But if it doesn't at least excite me and resonate with me, typically I'm not going to promote it, because if I'm not excited about it, why would my audience be excited about it?
Right.
And for me, I made a decision a long time ago that any idiot can make a one-time sale, right? But only a really smart affiliate can turn a one-time sale into a repeat customer.
Right.
So if you send BS to your subscribers, whether that be YouTube subscribers or email subscribers, eventually they're going to stop buying from you, because they'll be like, Ben, all these products you send to me are absolutely garbage, and they'll go tune into somebody else. So I promote a lot less these days than what I used to, because I'm finding that the gems right now are kind of few and far between, if I'm honest. So I'm very, very selective right now about what I promote, even to the point where the back end of last year it was losing me money, because I was like, there's nothing really great I want to promote here.
Yeah.
But I play the long game, and what I would lose in the short term, I know I'm going to win by being in the game for a longer time and always like sharing quality with my list, which this is why, and I like to kind of give an example of how that can work. This is why I have like subscribers on my list where like just one subscriber on my list who I met back in 2013. He then flew out to a mastermind I was holding in the Caribbean. He flew all the way out from America to the Caribbean. Then when I was speaking in Orlando in 2017, I messaged him and said, I'm going to be in Orlando. I know you're in Miami. He took the whole week off to come and just hang out with me for the week.
That's cool.
Now, this guy, between 2014 and 2019, I'd be giving you something towards, I'd be downplaying it if I told you he'd spent $50,000 with me in that time period, just that one guy. And I could name 2, 3, 4, 5 different subs who've spent similar kind of money And, that's not including the subscribers who've just spent $3,000 or $700. My point is, if you're good to subscribers, they can sense bullshit, basically. They can sense it.
Yeah.
We're in a day and age where you cannot fool people in this day and age. They know if you're being genuine, and they know if you're basically feeding them BS.
Gotcha.
So don't feed them BS to make a quick buck. Play the long game.
Yeah, I love that advice, man. I love it, man. So, like I said, I'm on your list, and I consider you like an email marketing expert. I get your subject lines, I read your emails, and they suck me in. I feel like when I see your email, your subject line, I'm like, oh, I'm going to, read this email because I know it's going to be good. So any tips? I mean, it may just be like your experience and you've been in the industry for so long, but any tips you can give us in terms of the email marketing portion of your business? Because I know that's a big portion of how you make your money. Like tips in terms of subject lines, of copy, like how many times you email your list, like any of those good tips you can give us that will help us out with our email marketing businesses.
Yeah, email marketing, like the last 3 months has been, it's been like a challenge for me in terms of I basically had to almost pull and strip everything back and rebuild certain things in a different way. In terms of like segmenting and automations, which I don't want to really get into, but depending on what section of my list, and John, you'll notice like sometimes if you open an email and read it, it will trigger you getting another email based on something you did right. Now, I don't want to dive too much into that side of it, but because it's really technical. But in regards to subject lines, the biggest thing I can say to anybody is just be different. Be different. As in, how many times a day, John, do you get emails about new software makes $100 in 5 minutes?
Pending commissions. Like, I see that every day.
Yeah. Or RE about your account. All those kind of things. No, I'm not going to lie, and I've tried all those kind of things at one point or another, and to a degree, for the short term, they can and do work, and you can make money like that. But the reality is, right, in 2020, the game is a lot different with Gmail and all that kind of stuff than it is with than it was back in 2013. Gmail is very smart, and a lot of marketers get caught up on subject lines and open rates, but they never think about email deliverability. Now, again, that is a very technical thing that I can't dive into on this call, but basically, long story short, is if you're tricking subscribers into opening, they may open a couple of times, but eventually they're going to hit spam, and it's going to hurt your deliverability, and you're not going to get your email into their inbox. So with subject lines, be different from the norm. If everybody else in your niche is talking about pending commissions and make $100 by farting in your sleep and all kinds of whatever, right? All kinds of crap, just be freaking different. Just be totally freaking different. Like I wrote an email the other day, and the email subject line was about your brain transplants. And it was basically talking about how most people fail because they're pessimistic and they hang around with pessimism. We always tell them everything's too good to be true. And the reason I've succeeded is because I'm Pollyanna, which the word Pollyanna basically means like overly optimistic, And I basically, the crux of the email is if you want to start succeeding, start hanging around with more successful people and more positive people, because in the process you'll feel like you've had a brain transplant, and you become who you hang around. And then it was kind of like, if you want to know the best community to hang around that will not only make your thoughts positive but also make your bank account positive, check this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So About Your Brain Transplant is a very different subject line than pending commissions.
Right.
It's totally different. And if people see the same stuff all the time, they become blind to it. Now, John, I don't know whether you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever, right? But if they make you what's your favorite food, John? What's your favorite food?
I'm a kind of a pasta guy. I like lasagna.
Okay, but if your significant other, if you don't have one, let's just kind of like, we're just pretending here. They gave you lasagna every single day, twice a day. You get sick of it, right?
I get bored of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You're like probably not actually. But
maybe every day I would.
It's the same with subject. It's the same with subject lines. When people see the same stuff over and over and over again, they become blind to it. They get sick of it. Yeah. So, biggest tip in terms of subject line is be unique. Now, in terms of email copyright, what you've got to remember is this: facts tell, stories sell.
Okay.
If you're in your email and you're like, hey, got this really amazing product, it's this push button software, it's going to make you a bunch of money. Again, that can work to a degree, but what I like to do is I like to wrap up most of my emails in stories with a pitch at the end, because whenever somebody detects that you're trying to sell them something, their barriers go up. It's the reason why if you walk into a car garage today and you want to buy a car, the moment somebody comes up to you and says, "Can I help you?" you're instantly resistant because you know they're there to sell you. And even though you want something, sometimes you'll resist it if you feel somebody's trying to sell you. People hate to be sold, but they love to buy.
Yeah.
So when you use stories in your emails, what happens is you bypass people's sales detector. You bypass it. You slip under the radar. Mm-hmm. They get sucked into your story, and before you know it, they're clicking on your link because they were so entertained by your story.
Yeah.
Now they want to know, well, what's the product on the other side of this story? No longer do they feel like they're being sold to. They feel like they were entertained. There's a huge word when it comes to email and marketing in general. Entertainment. They feel entertained, and they now want to know, well, what is it that you've got that can help me? So use unique subject lines and use stories. And again, I'm just thinking out loud about what people will say. People will say, well, how can I tell stories? What stories about what? My life's boring. Nothing ever really happens. All I do is wake up, go to work, come home, blah, blah, blah. Well, what you've got to imagine is that imagine your life as a movie, and basically every single second is a separate scene. I always say to people, emails are happening around you all the time.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. I'll give you an example. Before me and John got on this call, I was in the office, and John was like saying, Ben, your lighting is a bit dark, a bit fuzzy, and we were trying to figure out the best place for me to sit, and so we could get the best light so you could see clearly. I might write an email later today, and I might call the subject line, "When the lights go out," and you might be thinking, "Where's this going, Ben?"
Yeah.
And in that email, I might tell a story about how this morning I was getting on an interview with a new friend of mine called John, blah, blah, blah. When we were setting up before the interview, we noticed that it was very dark in my room, which was making it hard to see. So what I had to do, and obviously I would use different words, but I'm just giving you the plot.
Gotcha.
So what I had to do, I had to move to a different room with better lighting so we could see what we're doing. And I might say, this kind of reminds me about the situation most people are in their business, it's almost like they're sitting in a dark room and they can't see a clear way to make money.
Right.
And sometimes it just takes somebody to come along and show them the light, yada, yada, yada. If you're sick of being in the dark and you want to move close to the light, check this out here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's that easy.
Yeah, you're great at it, man. You're definitely a storyteller in your emails, man. They're great. That's why I say I love your emails.
Yeah.
I've been on your list for a while, so like I really like how you position yourself and tell those stories in your emails. They're great.
Yeah,
we're getting close to an hour, man. We're getting close to an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to touch on traffic for a second. I know that I teach solo ads here on the channel, and that's one of my favorite methods of getting traffic. In terms of solo ads, do you feel like there's any specific places to get solo ads? I mean, are you using Facebook? Are you using Udemy? Can you give us just a short, quick tip on like solo ads and what's, some tips on that?
Yeah, I mean, I do use Udemy. I mean, I'm sure, as you know, John, back in 2013, again, the solo ad game was a lot different. It was a lot easier to make money with solo ads back then because there were less vendors and they were actually supplying higher quality traffic and giving what I call a true solo ad. But there are still some good vendors out there. Udemy is one place I will use.
Okay.
Now, again, I know John told me 20 minutes, and I'm like, I've talked and talked. I didn't think I'd have anything to say, really. But for more info on Udemy, I'm sure John's got some stuff on his channel. I've got a video on Udemy on my channel people can check out too, where I kind of break down, well, when I'm finding a vendor, what are the criteria I set for identifying a vendor I want to test. So Udemy is one place. And then Facebook, if you go and type in solo ad testimonials and you join some of those groups, that is another good way.
Okay.
And what I've been able to do is, over years of using solo ads, I've actually kind of comprised a list of like 5, 10, 15 names that I've gone back to over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And what I would say to people is, when you find a vendor who you want to do a solo ad with, do a small test and build up your own records of vendors that actually you can trust. And that's really the best way to go forward. And what will happen is, over years, when you build up like a relationship with these vendors, they give you better and better prices, better and better deals. And a lot of times now, like when people complain about solo ads not working, it's like, as I say, I've built up this reputation with vendors over years, which has always allowed me to do fairly well with them, and I will give you one name because I know some people are going to be like, well, come on, give us a name, Ben, or something. Yeah. You can go and like test out a guy called Jasdeep Singh. I'm sure John knows about Jasdeep. Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is this: a lot of people see solo ads as some magic cure. Every offer converts differently. I'm not saying that name because I'm guaranteeing you any results. I don't know what results he'll get you. I just know that I've got good results with him over the years. But solo ads is not a quick fix. It's all about how you work your leads with your email follow-ups. And honestly, if you don't have an autoresponder in place, series in place, I wouldn't even advise you to do solo ads because it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that's just me being completely transparent.
Absolutely. Cool. Any other tips for, newbies starting out? Any other final thoughts that you can give people here on my channel?
John's probably thinking, damn, I'm going to break this up into 3 parts.
Part 1, part 2 with Ben. Make it quick, Ben.
Any other tips? Be yourself.
Okay.
Find your own voice. Be yourself. Doesn't matter if you're a quirky, slightly weird person, if you're sarcastic, sense of humor to the point. Be yourself. People love people who just being themselves.
Genuine.
Remember, it's about about entertainment. So try and put some enthusiasm and passion into what you do. Be patient and be consistent. Rome wasn't built in a day. Right now, I have a goal in 2020 of building up my YouTube channel. I want to get to at least 50,000 subscribers so I can monetize my channel with ads. And it's going to take consistency. I'm going to have to do a video every single day. Sometimes people are so busy looking for the miracle cure that they don't realize that the answer is in the small, simple, and mundane things. That the money and the riches is in the routine. And honestly, a lot of the most mundane stuff you do is what will make you the most amount of money. So if it's YouTube, do a video a day, or if it's not a video a day, stick to whatever you say you're going to do. If it's one video a week, one video a day. If it's solo ads, set yourself a pattern of, I'm going to do a solo ad every week. Whatever it is, whatever method you use, consistency is king. So that's all about it, John, really.
Good advice, man. So if people here on my channel want to get to know you more or get some additional information about you and what you do, is there something that you can give us, or how can we get more information about you?
Yeah, so the first thing to do is come subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit that notification bell because I'm dropping videos most days right now. You can find me at youtube.com/Profits Paradise.
I'll leave a link.
John's going to drop the link below. Yeah. Secondly, if you want to get on my email list and you kind of want to get a taste of more of what I do with email marketing, you can just head on over to www.virallistbuild.com. So that will put you on my list, and you'll kind of get to see what I'm doing behind the scenes in regards to turning my YouTube traffic and subscribers into email list subscribers and customers.
Guys, I highly recommend you guys do both. Subscribe to his channel. He's dropping a lot of free content every single day on there. Plus, subscribe to his email list, because you'll learn a lot just by getting his emails and some of the offers that he's promoting. The guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, for those people watching this on my channel, I'm going to drop a link to John's YouTube channel and to John's email list in my description box. So, go get on John's list, go follow him, because he's dropping videos like crazy too. And also he's got like 10 times more subscribers than me. So I'm kind of...
I've got to catch up, man.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking the time, and I really appreciate you taking the time to answer these questions for us. You dropped a lot of good knowledge, man. Thank you, guys. I'll leave the links below in this video to his YouTube channel and to his links so you guys can get on his email list. And thank you again, man. I appreciate your time.
No problem, John. Thanks for having me on, and thanks to everybody for tuning in.
Cool.
Perfect.